Hello and welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. In this video, we're just going to have a quick recap and a look back at the hi-fi show that I attended and obviously covered for you guys. And if you haven't watched any of the videos, there's about 17 videos of different rooms and stuff, obviously that were at the show. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great show, and hopefully, yeah, you liked the coverage, obviously, that I did for you. Okay then, just my general thoughts on the show. I thought it was a very good show, really well organised. You know, a lot of exhibitors there, all putting on, all of them made a big effort in order to put a big show on. And just I think the organisers in general put on a big effort. It was really well publicised, I think, before the event, and even to the point where there was people with big foam fingers telling pointing where to go. I think that was nice. Again, well organised. So the show itself, I think, had a really nice and friendly vibe to it. Everybody there that I was speaking to was happy. They all seemed relaxed and all seemed to be enjoying the show. And that was the exhibitors, people from the manufacturers and the general public, obviously, that I was speaking to. Everybody seemed happy and everybody seemed like they was enjoying the show. So that's always a good sign. I feel like, generally how people are is a big indicator of how they feel and how things are going, obviously, at an event like that. I think I would strongly recommend next year, if you didn't go this year, to attend. And even if you did go this year, I'd strongly recommend you go next year, because these shows always continue to improve. The manufacturers, once they've been at the show and in the rooms, a couple of years, they work out how to get better sound. So generally the quality of the show goes up from a sound point of view as well. This year there was a lot of diversity in terms of what was being demonstrated and what was being displayed. We had some very premium, ultra high end stuff there, but we also had some more reasonably priced stuff there. So there was something there for everybody. Not every single room was playing vinyl, and certainly not every single room was playing digital either. So there was a big variety there in terms of what we was listening to. And a lot of the music was typical hi-fi music, but not all of it was. Again, it didn't feel samey to me, actually, from room to room. We had some lovely live music being played as well in the main entrance area. Now, speaking about that main entrance area, I felt that was a really nice area to kind of enter the show. It was big, it was spacious, we had that lovely live music being played in the background. It did put me straight in a good mood. And I feel like as the show grows, maybe that area will get kind of busier and busier in terms of the little kind of stalls that were there. But actually, organisers, if you're listening, that was a very nice thing to walk into there, have plenty of space to breathe. I didn't feel like I was squashed or sardine, so I could walk in there, breathe out, relax, and then go and enjoy the show. So well done, obviously, for organising that. I will say though, once you've kind of gone around that main area, you're then going up floor after floor. And I did find it a little bit confusing finding the rooms. It wasn't totally clear where I was going, even though there was arrows and people there to help. So that's possibly why I missed a couple of the rooms. It's purely because it is difficult to know exactly where to go. But I have found out about every show I've been to. The first year I go there, I find it confusing. But if I go there subsequent years, I'm already aware of where things are, and I find things much easier. So it's not. I don't think there's any reflection on the organisation of it. It's just the nature of the building, where it's spread out a little bit. I think that was inevitable to get a bit confused. Okay then, what stood out to me, obviously, at the show? Now, the first room I want to mention is the Name, Focal and IsoAcoustics room. Now, that wasn't the best room for me for sound quality, but from a demonstration point of view, IsoAcoustics was doing a demonstration of their Gaia speaker isolators, and it was a simple demonstration. 2 pairs of Focal Sopra number 2 speakers, one with the Gaia isolators underneath it and one without, and it was a quick A/B that the chap could do from obviously a remote control. And if you watch the video for it, I didn't pay attention to it at the time when I was filming, but the guy who had the demonstration before me or us and the other chap that was there, he was saying the exact same thing that I was. Wow, what a big difference. And it was a huge difference when the chap put it over to the speakers with the Gaia isolators underneath. It was a huge improvement to bass quality, to width and depth of soundstage and stuff. It was a huge improvement from one to the other. So that was a great demo. That made a really big impact on me, and it was making a big impact, I think, on everybody who was listening to it. So kudos to IsoAcoustics. That's a great demo, and I have contacted them requesting a set of Gaias to review, obviously, here. So touch wood, fingers crossed, they get back to me and I'll get some of those in and we'll review them, and we'll do some good recordings and proper videos, obviously, to test those out. Now the second room that really impressed me was the PMC main room. Now they put a lot of effort into that room and they were very clever with the way they laid that out. It was kind of black all the way around with some powerful lights shining on the speakers and on the amplifier. Now what I think was clever about that is it kind of gave that room a real sense of theatre, and it reminded you, or it kind of felt like you was looking at maybe a band or a live show. So it was dark all around, and then just kind of the main event was lit up. And then that worked really great, and it especially worked really great because they had white speakers, or the FAT speakers initially were white, and the white core integrated amplifier. So visually that was a really lovely room. Now the sound quality from that room was just as good, maybe even better than the visuals. And core integrated amplifier through the FAT 8s when I first walked in there was sounding absolutely fantastic. So that amplifier really got my interest, as do the speakers, but the amplifier has really got my interest. So I'd love to review one of those, I really would. So we'll see obviously what comes up. But then they swapped the amplifier around and they swapped the speakers around and they put an AVM integrated amplifier on through the 25, I think that was the 21, the smallest bookshelf speakers, and that still had a big, you know, rich and kind of luscious sound to it. And I was really enjoying that, and I was getting a great video demonstration of it until someone in their wisdom came and sat down right in front of me where I was filming. Now, you know, that chap's paid for his ticket exactly the same as me, so he's got the right to sit anywhere he wants, but there was literally nobody else in that room, nobody else sitting in about 20 seats. So why he came and sat right in front of me, I'll never know. And if you're watching this guy, thank you very much for that, because there was just no need for it. So please be mindful in the future. You know, I'm only ever going to record for a couple of minutes at a time. And yeah, please bear with me and then come and sit in my seat, because I was actually in a better seat than the front seat. So again, thanks very much for that. But no, PMC, really great effort, really good room. And you put a lot of, you know, time into that room and it really paid off. It was fantastic. Okay, the next great room for me was the Devialet room. And that just had a very luxurious and premium feel to the room. The decoration that was in there, and it kind of went perfectly with kind of the tiled floor, and it felt lovely in there. It felt really premium. It actually felt like a showroom for a, you know, exclusive hi-fi shop. That's what it felt like in there. So visually that was a lovely room. And then, you know, the sound in there was good, you know, but for me it was just a little bit of magic to listen to the Wilson Audio Sasha Watt Puppy, or the, you know, the modern Watt Puppy speaker. I've always wanted to listen to those, so that was really lovely for me personally to sit and listen. Now that wasn't the best sound at the show, but it was very clean and it was very transparent, and you know, that's not music I was familiar with, and it was streamed from Tidal, so it probably wasn't the best sound quality, but it was still good. It was still really good, and you know, that was a little bit special for me, and I would, you know, give anything to listen to those speakers for some, you know, for more time. So who knows what the future might hold. Fingers crossed. Okay, another room that was a really interesting and good demo for me was the CAD room, where they was demoing the ground control solutions, because, you know, I kind of stumbled in there. They was doing that demonstration anyway. I captured the whole thing on camera, and you can clearly hear, or I could clearly hear there on the day, but you could even hear it on the recording, the difference the ground controls made to the sound of that system. It really relaxed that system, and it made it more musical and less hard and less digital sounding. So that was a really interesting demo. But what was great about that, we had Martin Colloms was in there at the same time, which I didn't know obviously at the time. And obviously Martin Colloms being from Hi-Fi Critic magazine, but a very long, you know, and well-regarded hi-fi reviewer in the industry for years. And so it's lovely to have him in there. That was pure coincidence, and we had a great chat obviously after that demo, and what a lovely guy. So I'm sure I'll see you in the future, Martin, at other shows, and if you're watching this video, thanks very much for your time. It was lovely to talk to you, and obviously I wish you all the best. Okay, the last room for me, or the last, you know, demo there for me, which probably was the biggest surprise. And we've got to bear in mind, you know, there was a big variety of systems there, but a lot of, you know, manufacturers were pimping up their systems, and there was a lot of premium equipment there at that show. And yet probably the biggest surprise for me was the KEF demo, the Atmos demo of their Q Series speakers. Now I literally kind of stumbled into that room, and it was too dark in there to do any filming because it was like cinema conditions, but I stumbled in there, kind of sat down at the back, and they was playing at the beginning of Mission Impossible, obviously in Atmos with their up-firing speakers. And I didn't actually know what system it was at the time, but it was sounding really good. So I plunked myself down. I probably sat in there for a good 15-20 minutes watching that content, and it was a really nice sounding experience. It was, you know, detailed, and it had nice attack to it, really good transient clarity, and it sounded big and it sounded spacious, and the vocal was clean and the vocal was clear. And you've got to bear in mind that's kind of an entry-level system they've put in there, or entry-level speakers, and it was sounding absolutely fantastic. So kudos to KEF. For me, that was probably kind of the biggest surprise. So in terms of quality of demonstration, bang for buck, that was the best one there for me at the show. Okay then, you know, I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed filming it and capturing it all, you know, obviously for you. And I hope you enjoyed watching the videos, or if you haven't watched them, please go and watch them. There's a lot there. It'll take a bit of time, but hopefully you'll get something out of it. And, you know, I put a lot of effort into recording all those videos, and I put a lot of effort into producing them all after. I literally spent about 2 full days obviously doing that. So I hope you enjoy it now, but please bear in mind a couple of things. That's my first go at doing it. So, you know, I made some mistakes in there. It wasn't perfect, but overall, for a first go, I was actually really happy with the way they all come out. Now, technically, I only went there as a bit of a warm-up and a bit of practice for the Hi-Fi live show, which is coming up in about 3 weeks' time. And I wanted to make sure I had a bit of a, you know, feel for things before I went to that show, because we've got some really top brands there. So that's going to be a great show. I'm spending a lot of time now. I'm going to get some great coverage of that show for you. Now, a few people have left comments about kind of background noise and people chattering and stuff in the videos. Now, bear in mind, that's a public show, and I'm not in a position where I can tell everybody to please be quiet so I can do some filming. That's just not fair. It's not really in my character either, and I would probably get kind of slapped in the face if I did that, you know, in every single room. So please bear that in mind. Now, I could obviously change the microphone setup and get a slightly different presentation, and maybe drown some of that out, but I wouldn't get the quality that I get for the audio recordings of the system. So for me, I'm actually feel like I'm capturing the ambience of the show. If there's people there talking, if there's hustle and bustle, if there's background music, that is what it's like. That is what the Hi-Fi show was like. And I think the Hi-Fi live show is going to be very busy because it is a big show, and it potentially could be worse from that point of view. But there's some top systems there. There'll be some top Hi-Fi brands and stuff there. So I feel like if they sacrifice a little bit of this to get a much better original, you know, recording and a much better quality, obviously, representation of what obviously the demo was like. So please bear with me on that. At the moment, I can't see a better way, obviously, of doing it, but we'll see, obviously, about, you know, what we can do in the future. But no, I really enjoyed the Hi-Fi live show. I'd suggest you, if you didn't go this year, see about going next year, because it was a really good show. All the manufacturers made a big effort, and in my experience, shows get better year on year on year because the manufacturers work out how to get better sound year on year on year from the same room. So thank you to all the manufacturers, people that exhibited there. Thank you to the organisers, obviously, of the show. It was a really great show. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking obviously forward to next year. And we've got the Hi-Fi live show coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to do as best as I can to bring you the highest quality coverage of that show that I can. So see you soon. See you in the next video. Oh, just quickly, thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel recently and pushed us up over the 500 mark. That's a real achievement. You know, I feel like I've hit that 500 mark really quickly. So that's thanks to everybody who's subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, or there'll be trouble. But just want to thank everybody for watching the videos and stuff like that, and for the support of the channel. It's really appreciated. So don't forget to visit the website. Please go there, support me by doing that. That will really help, and I'm going to start improving that and improving that and improving that over time. I'm putting more stuff on there, and yeah, again, all the support is really appreciated, and it's helping me bring you better quality content quicker. So thanks again. See you in the next video.